7th. And yeah, it's April. We are well into April and we are well into spring. Good morning, Eric. Good morning, Michelle. Hello, everyone. I hope everybody had a great weekend. Maybe you got into a little bit of jewelry making. Maybe you just had some time with friends and family. I don't know. I hope it was nice where you were or where you are. It was nice here. Lots of sunshine. We are headed to hot weather already at the end of this week in Arizona. So if you have some cooler temperatures, you can send them my way. I'd be very happy with that. Good morning, Tanya. Hello. So who is here this morning? We are ready and raring to go. So I'm Deb Floros. This is my weekly show on artbeads.com called Designing with Deb. And we, we get together, we chit chat about jewelry making. We actually do make some jewelry and we do a little bead shopping here and there, because that's what we do. I hope everybody is ready and raring for a fun week. Good morning, Laura Q. Hello. So Michelle says she has rain if anyone wants any. Michelle, send it on down. I'm game. We would love to have some rain here. Good morning, Kara. Hello, everybody. So if you're watching on April 7th and you're watching live, we would love for you to come over to artbeads.com/live because that's the best place to watch this show live. So I can see your comments like Joan in Phoenix is saying good morning. Hi, Joan. Carolyn is here. Kara, thank you. We made these maybe a couple months back. They are memory wire. You'll probably find that show and point you to it. It was a fun one. We did rings too. So if you're watching at artbeads.com/live, you can chit chat with us here. You can talk with me and Michelle and Eric, and we can have a great conversation about what's going on today. You can also shop the show, which is so much fun. And let's see what else. And you can share the love by clicking on that heart icon. And if you don't know how to shop here, there's a little shopping bag icon on your screen. If you click on that at any time throughout the course of the show, you can see everything that I've put in the show today. Tools and beads, and we've got some kits today. So thank you for the hearts, you guys. So if you're watching somewhere else, we love that you watch us wherever you watch us. But if it's during the live time, come on over. If you're at Facebook, you can enter in one of the codes at the top of the screen when they pop up. You can type that in the comments. It will bring you to Messenger and then over to artbeads.com. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can go to the description of the video and click on the link and come on over. And just an FYI, if you're not watching live, you happen to be watching the replay, you can still shop the show. So if you're at artbeads.com/live, you can click on the show after the fact. Watch my show, watch all of the other shows that are here at artbeads.com, and you can shop the show. So if you think you may have missed out on something, missed out on some goodies, you can still get them. I just saw a flurry of comments. Let me go back here and see who else is here. Susanna says good morning. Hi, Susanna. Hannah is from Iceland. She's waiting for her second mystery bead mix Llama box. She'll get it today. These boxes are amazing. We're going to talk about that in 1 second. Santa Barbara girl is here. Good morning. Thank you for the hearts, you guys. Julie P is here. Hi, friends. Kim Caldwell says, I've been using seed beads as spacers on the regular. Yes. Kim Caldwell, thank you. I love that. Marie says, good morning from Florida. Hello, Marie. Julie, you like the shirt? It's a little boho. I love the boho vibe. Let's see who else is here. Carolyn, I can't believe how fast I received my order. I know, right? They ship so fast. I love that. Tori says, good morning from Reno. Hello, Tori. I love Reno. Terry B says, Oops, I forgot I'm on the website now. Thanks for the reminder. Laura Q, binging beads is the best. That should be a t-shirt. And Julie from Cali says, hiya, good morning. Welcome, everybody. Let's get into it. So a few other things. It is, if you're watching on April 7th, the last day of Bracelet Madness. Bracelet Madness. So we just had a little short stint of Bracelet Madness. So if you've missed it thus far, today is the last day. 25% off bracelet supplies. And I always check out the sale for you. So it's letter beads, glass letter beads, some that are not, I think there's some metal ones, seed beads, stretch cord, other cording. There's a loom on sale, so that's amazing. And if you need some bead stoppers, they are on sale. And jewelry bracelet making kits. So yeah, it's the last day, and this is a crazy good sale. We actually launched a couple of brand new bracelet kits, which we're going to take a look at today as well. And what else do I need to tell you? Oh, deal of the week. So last week I held up my own bag that I put my mystery bead mix in, and guys, this is the deal of the week, and it comes with free shipping. So if you put that mystery bead blend, the Bead Llama mystery bead bag into your shopping cart and you bring that home to you, that will get you free shipping. So drop that in. It's amazing. And get some other bracelet supplies. Drop that into your cart as well. And then you get everything shipped for free. So this is amazing. I'll just briefly show it when I flip the camera around. But it is so much fun. I'm seeing so many great comments about it. I know you guys are loving these. They are curated with some amazing things. Seed beads, strands, metal. It's not just a bunch of beads dumped in a bag. It's not. So, so let me see what else. So let's be besties. We're going to talk about bracelets, friendship bracelets. We're going to be besties today. So I'm going to flip the camera down. We've got a lot to cover today. So I'm going to flip down and let's get started. So I'm starting with something that I did last week. I don't want you guys to miss the Easter Parade check glass bead llama blend. It's these amazing spring colored beads. This was a piece I made after the show using some really amazing sterling silver pieces. But I want you to get this bead blend if you haven't already. This is spring in a bag. And I wanted to just show you what I made afterwards because I did continue to create after we signed off last week. And look at these beads. These are some little bellflower beads. These are some big chunky beads. This is just spring-tastic. So I wanted to show those off. I'll put a picture of this in the Serious Art Beaters Facebook group for you, so that you can get a good look at those. I'm dropping those behind me here. And okay, so this is what we're doing today. We're going to be besties. So what's half of besties? Bestie. So this is a fun technique that I'm going to show you in just a little bit. Good morning, Kat. Easter candy beads, Santa Barbara girl. Yes, they look like candy. They are delicious. So we're going to do a little bit of bracelet making. This is not a bracelet, but a sample of what I wanted to show you that we'll be doing today. But before we start, I want to show you these kits. So you may have seen these Friday. If you have not seen these before, let me show you what we've got. So we have First of all, the Bead Llama stretch bracelet kit. So this is part of Bracelet Madness. And when you get these kits, you get them all put together with such amazing love and joy. There is some stretch cord in there. There are a bunch of seed beads that have all been tested that fit onto your stretch cord. You've got some really cool polymer spacers. You've got some exclusive bead blends by Art Beads, and you've got some glass letter beads. And I'm sorry, my throat is, I've got allergies going. You've got some glass hearts. You've got a llama charm. You've got a bead mat. You've got bead stoppers, and you've got some ambient beading thread. I love this stuff. This, if you have not played with this, now's the time to give it a try with one of these kits. So this is the big stretch kit. It's so super cool. I love this one. That's one of the bracelet things that you might want to take advantage of. I just spilled some of this on the floor. Let me pick that up. That in front of you is one of the friendship bracelet kits. And this one is blue. And I made this bracelet. We're just going to put that there as a teaser. I made this bracelet. So I've already opened this. And look at all of the amazing things that come in here. These beads are so incredibly beautiful. These are check glass. They are blue with like a bit of AB finish on them. Super, super fun. You get some spacers, and you get the famous check, I think these are checked. I know they're glass, letter beads, and a whole bunch of them. So you can do all kinds of fun things. You'll get your needles. So your little twisted needles. I know it's hard to see through the plastic. You get a stopper. You get some Opalon for your stretch bracelets. Oh my gosh, there's another strand of beads in here. These are beautiful white little floral spacer beads, and you get some of the ambient thread in this lovely navy blue. This is some of my favorite stuff, you guys. This is some of my favorite cording, and I'm going to show you what I did with that, and we're going to work with it today. And you get a sticker. So we can be Bead Llama besties if you want one of these cool kits. And I'm sorry for all the plastic noise, but they also come with a gift box. So you'll find these boxes that are very much like the plastic container that they come in. They fold like this. You can put your bracelet gift inside and hand it over to a friend. You could do some little writing on it. You know, let's be besties on the little cardboard container. It's so great. It's a little pillow box. Yes, thank you, Eric. So much fun. This is one I've already broken into. There's also a black and white kit, which I used for this little sample here. And this one has pretty much all of the same goodies, but it's all black and white focused. So there are some black and white seed beads, which are fantastic. And these are Toho. So these are Japanese seed beads, high quality. They are a size 8, and they fit nicely on all of the cording that you'll have in your kit. So the ambient cord, the Opalon, and you will get some amazing strands of glass. So we're not including any plastic in this kit or any of these kits. You've got some metal, so some large hole metal beads, which are fun to put on your stretch bracelets and any kind of other bracelets. There's your glass letter beads. Most of the time when you are picking up letter beads, they are not glass. So I just want you to know these are really special because they've got those glass beads. Now, this one is crazy good. This is this is the rainbow version. And I did not use this one yet. I did take out the gift box just so I could maybe get you a little bit of a better view. I know we're getting a lot of glare. Let me see if that's kind of dark. We're still getting glare. But we've got all the fun goodies in here, and there are these amazing rainbow color fire polish beads. So just look at this amazing saturated color. These are like a matte, and they are fantastic. Look at the vibrancy of these colors. I can't say enough about the quality of these pieces. Now, I'm going to let you in on a little Deb secret. So I don't always use kits. But I buy kits because I buy kits for all the goodies that are in them, because sometimes you can't get a deal on the combination of things. So you might love, the ambient cording, but maybe not the stretch cord. You may love all of the colorful seed beads that are in here, but maybe you're not crazy about, I don't know, the fire polish. I don't know why you wouldn't be, but you can get a lot of goodies jam-packed into one container for one price. So I'll tell you, that's what I like to do. I like to buy kits because I'm going to get all kinds of goodies. It's like another goodie bag coming your way. So you can use them all together or break everything apart, and you've got lots of goodies to work with. Now, we introduced 2 new kits on Friday. Sarah Lovecraft introduced this one, and this is the cutest packaging. This one is fruit, like a fruit salad, and I can't get enough of these colors. So this one is it's a smaller kit. You get a little smaller package of Ilonga to do your stretch work. This one does not have the ambient cording, so this is really kind of purely a stretch. But if you have some ambient cording from one of the other kits, you can most certainly do your thing. And again, you could just buy this kit for all the fun pieces and parts. These are all strands of check glass. They are curated specifically to go along with everything else in here, including this amazing, amazing collection of metal. These little fruit metal pieces are amazing. These are from our friends that make Tiara Cast. So Tiara Cast is up and running again, and they are being made by a different company, and they have a larger catalog of beautiful things. So look at these fruit little fun things. Michelle says she loves these charms. I agree. These are such nice quality, and they string on like a bead. The little banana has a bead across the top. There is a piece of watermelon. This is just amazing. And then there's all of these lovely little, they look like seed beads, but they are a small little metal spacer bead. So this is so wonderful. We specifically picked these out. The whole design team met and we talked about this kit, and the folks at Art Beads were able to make this happen, and they match all of these fruity beads so incredibly well. This is such a fun kit. Oops, I almost missed that little guy. You also get a little vial of these bright green seed beads. This is such a lovely Toho tube. And there are some black and white spacers if you want to add a little bit of neutrality to your design, and you still get a bead stopper. So this all comes in this reusable little container. I'm crazy about this. This is an exclusive Bead Llama bracelet kit, and for Bracelet Madness, I can't think of a better way to introduce it to you with a new fun kit. All right, one more kit, and we're actually going to work with this kit today. And oh, I want to, before we go to that one, this is my mystery, this is my mystery bag. I had to put it in a different bag because I like ripped my bag. There's so much in those mystery bags. I just can't. They're just so great. So if you haven't added one of these to your cart yet, know that when you add this, it gets you free shipping, and you can get everything in your cart free shipped to you. And there's like hours and hours of joyful jewelry making here. So this is just so cool. All right, let's see. Debbie says, I have my letter beads from my birth 68 years ago. Last name, which of course is a bracelet that fits me as an adult. Oh my gosh, Debbie, that's so cool. So there's a great example of something that you can do with these kits. You can make them into something meaningful that you hand off to someone you love, or something that you want to wear yourself. So let's be besties. This is called Wildflower. This is brand new. It was introduced on Friday, and I've already opened it because I've started to work with it, but I'm just going to pull out the contents. So here's that gift box. Such a great addition. You can give that bestie piece to your bestie. You've got some amazing rondelles. These are so luminous and gorgeous. Look at these. They are incredible. Look at the shine on those. And when you see the rest of this kit, you'll see how these just look beautiful with them. I'm going to show those last. This strand of Drux in a beautiful green. So this is just absolutely gorgeous. Megan from our warehouse rocked this kit. She put this together. She is becoming the master, the mix master of all of these beautiful kits. Now, these were strands, 2 different colors of fire polish, one in a beautiful green with, I think there's a Picasso finish on the green, and then these beautiful pink, kind of a, I don't know, like a grapefruit pink, maybe a rosy pink. 2 strands. I've cut them up, so I put them all back in a bag together. Gorgeous. Then we've got our needle, our twisted needle for stretch cord work. And here's our Opalon stretch cord and our bead stopper and your sticker. And here are some cool spacers. These spacers are like an off-white or like a creamy color, which is great. Like the others in some of the kits have more of a white. This is really cool because it is, it's kind of blends with these colors really well. Here are some incredible seed beads. Again, these are Toho high quality Japanese seed beads in a size 8, tested to fit on all of our cording. We've got Olympic bronze and transparent rainbow rosaline. And they go amazingly, like these two match back to each other beautifully. And then kind of the 2 stars of the show, we've got our glass letter beads. So you can spell out all kinds of fun things. And then this is what makes it bloom. These are glorious check glass beads. This made my heart sing. So there are ladybugs, and they are a pink glass with an AB finish on them. There are some small bellflowers. So often your bellflower beads are a little bit bigger. These are small little flowers, are so adorable. And look at these beautiful flower beads. This is such a delightful little collection of flowers and little springy things. This combination is gorgeous. And we've got Amiette thread. This is, gosh, I don't know the name of this color, but this is such a lovely rose pink. And this is what we're going to be working with today. So I'm going to put a lot of this back in the package because I've got my project preloaded for us, but I'm going to show you just a few things to get us started. And we're going to make a friendship bracelet. So let me get myself situated. So how's everybody doing? You loving these kits? I am crazy about them. And again, if you don't necessarily want to use everything together, it's a container of fabulous goodies. So I'm just going to refresh and show you this. I was playing around and I remember friendship bracelets also being about macrame. So this one's got one little letter that's kind of messed up there, you guys. This was my sample made in a rush, but just kind of getting my feet wet on the design. And I remember friendship bracelets being macrame. So I thought rather than a stretch bracelet, let's do a macrame bracelet and let's put in something really fun, some, an uplifting word or something that will make you feel good, something that you maybe want to give to someone else or that you want to wear yourself. Maybe you make matching ones and you get so much in these kits that you can definitely make matching ones. Now, I am also doing mine as a bracelet with a lobster and a jump ring. So I'm going to show you how to do this. This is with the blue kit. And I just thought we'd say blue skies because we love blue skies. And this is just such a fun little design. Then I did this other sample with the black and white. This is also a variation of this one. This one's a little tighter, looks a little better, a little cleaner. We've got the gray cord, the black and white beads, and I am officially a bestie because I have this bestie piece here. And so this is what we're going to do. We're going to make our bloom bracelet. So I've got the Beadalon tying station here. And if you've never used the Beadalon tying station, this is an amazing tool. So I really didn't love making anything with macrame until I was introduced to this tool. And I was really struggling for a while, and I knew this tool existed, but I hadn't really tried it. So probably about 3 or 4 years ago, I picked this up and it changed my life in terms of making macrame. So this tool comes in a long box and you get this and then one additional piece. And this is to help you attach something up top that needs to be protected, but it's intended for knotting or other cording type projects that maybe you need to secure to be able to do. And it's got this channel in the center that I find really helpful to get my macrame cord under my piece. So your piece is going to sit upwards and you can reach under it and kind of, manipulate your piece without it laying flat against whatever it is you're working on. Now, this isn't for everybody. I mean, maybe you like working with a macrame board or some other things, but I love this. This has revolutionized my macrame. So I'm going to show you how to get this one started, and then we're going to finish it on the other tying station. So I'm not going to pull out the full amount of cord, but what I used for the project that we're going to be finishing are 2 separate cuts of the ambient cord. So I cut one section that is 3 feet long, and then I cut another section that is 6 feet long. And what that will do is it will allow you to have a cord that is kind of your core or your base that we will macrame around. And then the 6-foot piece is kind of your working cord where you will do all of the knots and tie with. And I'll tell you, I love this cord for macrame. I had not tried this cord until probably about 1.5 years ago. And this is great. You can fit seed beads on this cord. You can use this for knotting projects, anything where you want to use a cord. And it can also be your beading wire. So it's just another alternative. It's made by Toho, which gives me a lot of faith because it's a good quality thing. It's a good quality cording. It's 100% polyester, and you get a lot of cord on this package. It's 22 yards of cord. So, Santa Barbara Girl, this color is divine. This is probably my favorite color of all the Amiot cord. I've used this in a number of projects. So when I saw it in the Wildflower kit, I sort of got giddy. So I'm going to cut a sample of cord. I'm not going to do the actual project with this. So sadly, we're just going to use this to get us started so I can show you how I do this. And I'm hitting the camera with it. I'm sorry about that. So you just want 2 cords, one working cord, one core cord. And I always start with my lobster. So I do like a lobster claw for this project, but if you would rather do a slide knot, like a macrame slide knot, that's also an alternative. So what I do to start with is I take both of my cords and I find the center point of both of them. So let me get to, I can't really show you everything on camera, but here's my center point. I'm holding the ends with my other hand. And then I have eyes on that center point. And then I've got my second piece of cord that is shorter. This is my core. And I'm going to take my 2 cords. And what I'm going to do is put them through the loop on my lobster claw. And because one is shorter than the other, I kind of got to do them separate. But I'm going to pull those on and I'm going to get them to my center point, or get that onto my center point of everything here. And so then you've got 2 cords going through your lobster. And what I want to do is tie a knot to secure it. So all I'm going to do is just a simple overhand knot. So I'm just going to take my lobster and put that through. And you want to make sure you get all 4 cords. And then I'm going to shimmy all of that cord up and pull it tight with my fingernail. And I want that lobster to have a little bit of room there. And that's all you need to do to secure your closure, the first half of your closure. That makes sense, you guys? So that's how you'll get started with one end. Now, what I always like to do, I have a bag of cord and like remnants and things next to my table, my work table. So this is some Amiot cord from another project. And I'm going to just snip off a little bit of cord. So just a little bit of scrap cord. And I'm going to come in and tie a knot in this cord, making a loop of it. So let me see if I can do this here. I think I didn't cut off enough. Let me give myself a little bit more than that. That's better, I think. So let me do that. Let me give myself a little bit more cord and tie a knot. And just pull that tight. So I've just got a little knotted piece of excess cord. So then what I want to do is take my lobster and attach it to my little excess piece of cord. Now, this is a way, so if you were to try and attach this, so this is how you're going to attach one end of your bracelet. is you're going to put it onto this peg here on your tying station. But this guy does not fit on there. So you'll need a way to connect this. This is the way I do it. I'm sure there are other ways to accommodate this, but I am just attaching this way. And then I'm going to put my little base plate down, the little washer, and the little spinner. I like to call it a spinner because you're going to spin that guy all the way down and you're going to tighten that up. Okay, so now we've got our top piece secured. Yeah, it's a wing nut, Eric. I couldn't think of what it's called. I call it a spinner, but it is a wing nut. So now we've got this piece secured, and what we want to do is find our two shortest cords. So we've got two short cords and two long cords. And because they're all knotted, they're all kind of wanting to fight for a position here. So what I want to do is I want to get the long cords and pull them off to the sides. So I'm going to get this short cord, long cord going over here. Here's the other short cord, and pull these long cords off to either side. And what I want to do then is take this cord and secure it at the bottom. But before you do that, in order to achieve this kind of a look, we're putting beads on the center cords and on our working cords. So what I did here is I loaded all of the beads that I wanted to use on the piece, the larger beads that are going to be macrameed around. I put them on these two working cords first before I secure them. Now, I'm going to give you a few words to the wise and tell you this. All of the beads, the letter beads, the flower beads, I used the fire polish beads. They all fit on two cords, but I want you to know that it might be a little challenging to get them through. That's why I'm not doing it on camera today, because we don't have all morning to do that. But that will be the hardest part of the project, is getting those beads loaded on. I'll show you one just so you can see what I do. Here's one of the fire polish beads, and the ambient cord is really nice and tight, but it will start to fray after you put a few beads on, and I just snip off as I go. So make sure that you use enough cord for your project so that you can snip off little bits if you need to along the way. So you're going to have a loaded bunch of beads on your working cord, and then we're going to loosen this up a little bit. And what we want to do is tamp this down. We want this to be nice and taut, nice and tight. And so I hold it down and I spin and get that wing nut nice and tight. So we've got a nice tight center line to work on here. So we'll have beads on this cord. And before you start anything, when you got all your beads loaded on, you can push them all down to the bottom, and then you can start working from your top. Now, what I do is then I make sure that my cords are in the right spot. I want them to be on either side of my piece, either side of my center. And I'm just going to give you a quick tutorial on square knots, which is the simplest way to do macrame. There's tons of other fun knots that you can do for macrame, but this is probably the easiest. It's the one I have the most fun with. I always find this to be very zen-like. So let's see. Santa Barbara Girl says a little crazy glue makes the thread into a needle. Yes, there are products that do that. And you can also use a little glue or nail polish. I see people use nail polish. But I will often just, kind of wet it a little bit with my lips or my tongue, just a little bit, and that will get me going for a while, and then I may just snip off my ends. So to make a square knot, I'm going to start on the left. You can start on the left or the right, and you're going to make a little bit of a loop here on this side. I'm going to hold that, and I'm going to take the end of the cord and I'm going to push it under my working cords and up through that. Oh, you know what? I didn't do that right. I used the wrong cord. You're going to do this. You're going to create your loop. You're going to take your other cord. Sorry about that. And you're going to push that under your core cords and up through that loop. And that's the first half of your square knot. I'll show you the full one in a second. Then you're going to go to the other working cord, create that loop, take the cord on this side, push it under your core and up through that loop. And that gives you, and that's there, but that is a square knot. I'm going to do it one more time to show you. I'm going to take my left cord, create a loop. I'm going to grab and this ambient cord can be a little wonky because it's wrapped around a package, but it will straighten itself out. I'm going to take my right cord. I'm going to push it under and up through that loop and create the first half of my knot. Then I'm creating a loop over here on the right, grabbing my left cord, pushing it under those center cords and up through the loop I created and pulling that tight. Now I've got 2 square knots there, and that's usually how I start my design. Now, that's another point about this tying station is you've got some space here to move things through. If you're used to working on a board, you're working flat against it. This is nice because you've got a little bit of spacing to do those knots, to come through them, to kind of get your fingers around it and, get that cording up and through those loops. And maybe with 3 knots, you can see how nice those fun little macrame knots are. So that's how I get things started. Now, I'll show you the first kind of knotting around a bead, but we'll move over to the other the started project. You're going to push your beads up as you go. So when you're ready to start introducing beads in your design, you push one of them up. Don't push them all up. Push the first one you need. Then you're going to create that loop just like you're doing without a bead and pull the other cord up through the knot and tighten that, and the cord is going to go around your bead. To get it completely secure, I'm going to add another, the other side of the knot. So I've got a full square knot. And then I'm going to do one more square knot, and then I'll show you what that looks like. And I see Tina says, Deb, I've actually been working on my tying station this morning. I love this thing. This has really changed my desire and my want to make macrame pieces, and I love to do it. So you'll see that cord goes around that bead, and then it just tightens it up and secures that bead, and you've got that beautiful cording, and you'd be ready to pull your next bead up, or you can start to add things to this cord. I'm going to do all of that on the other project that's all ready to go. So I'm going to move this off. That's how we get started. So that's where we are so far. Now, let me set that aside, and I'm going to take a sip of coffee, which is semi-cold, but it still hits. All right, so here's my piece. Now, what's going to happen as you proceed with making this bracelet is you're going to find that you're starting to run out of space. So at that point, when you start to get a little too tight down here, you can take this foamy piece that comes in your tying kit, and you can take off the other plate and do the same thing, pressing this down, and it will, because you're going to be really close to your lobster. I just cut my little scrap piece to a much smaller piece of cord, and you can see it's just under that foam, so it's not going to get smashed by the plating, the little plate. So this gives you some protection when you start to do this technique. Now, what I did to make this piece, I used this lovely green bead, then one of the flower beads, another green bead, and then I introduced the letter beads, and I'm putting seed beads around them. So I want to show you how I do that. And I'm using 2 knots in between each bead. So the 2 knots are kind of my spacer. So 2 complete square knots. The left one, the right one, the left one, the right one. So I've got those ready to go here. We're spelling the word bloom because I thought it would be nice for our wildflower kit. So I'm pushing up my L, and then I'm taking these beautiful luminous Toho size 8 seed beads in the transparent rainbow rosaline. And on both sides of my cord, I'm going to string on 3 seed beads. And so I'm going to push those on and up here. So they're sitting up here next to your bead. And then I'm going to put 3 on the other cord. And I found, even though putting beads through the 2 cords in the center frayed my ends, I don't really need to do any cutting or much cutting on these working cords, because you're only putting, things on 1 cord. So we're going to do those square knots just like any other knot we've done. We're just doing knots here. We're not worried about those beads. Not worried about those beads. We're just going to do square knots again. So I'm just going to create that loop and pull my other cord through, and then making sure that those beads are going around my L. I'll show you in 1 second. Going to do the second half of my square knot. And you see I've got limited space here. So because I've got beads on my my working cord down here, so I'm working with a much smaller space, but now I've got those beads wrapped around my letter beads, which I think look so cute, and they look like little flowers. So we're going to do another square knot and get those two square knots as the spacers. And I'm just going to give it a little push to tighten it up. And I think that looks so cute. What do you guys think? Do you like this? Is this fun? Let's see. Susanna says your tying station is great for leather wrap bracelets too. Yes. And Kat says, I love this design. Thank you, Kat. I love this one too. I'm actually really crazy about this. I was so excited when I started to put this together. When I pulled out this kit, I'm like, okay, I think I know what I want to do. So we're going to put 3 seed beads on both sides. I pushed up my next letter. Make sure you can see what I'm doing here. Come up a little higher. And this isn't the easiest kind of project to show on a camera, on a phone. So I'm working off of my phone. So it's hard to get you in the right spot for you to see it, but I hope you can at least get an idea of what I'm doing here. So I'm just doing my square knots here. Just not even worried about those beads because they're going to go right into place. And I'm going to grab my cord and give it a tightening. I do kind of do a little bit of a death grip I have to say, I probably don't need a death grip, but I just kind of have a tendency to do that. But now I've got my full saying here on the bracelet. We are blooming. And spring is blooming. We're all blooming. Look at how cute those letters look with the beads around them. I love that. I think it's so fun. Then I've got my 2 knots. I'm just going to grab the next bead and we're going to do this. I'm going to do this a little faster because I see we're coming up to the end of our time together this morning. So I'm going to try and get all of these beads together so you can see how I finish this off. Now, a couple of things, you guys. This can kind of get loose over time. You can always tighten that up. And if you realize that you forgot to add a bead, or you want to add another bead or something at the end, you can't go backwards, but you can add to this end if you want. And here's a little flower bead. I just kind of make sure that cord is shimmied around that flower bead. It's kind of an unusual shape, so it might want to do its own thing. But we're going to get it locked in with our knots. Just get that nice and locked in. Yes, okay. I'll show you that close up in just a second. Just want to get my second square knot in there. Thank you, Debbie. I just love to macrame. It's very soothing for me. It's just kind of like what I like to do when I just want to sit and make and just kind of do something that gives me relaxation. I can listen to music, or I like to watch crazy things on YouTube, or half watch them, listen to them. I've been watching a lot of sci-fi, post-apocalyptic stuff lately. I don't know why. But watching those things and macrameing at the same time. I know that doesn't sound very relaxing, but it kind of is for me. So I'm going to go and add my next bead. And I'm telling you, if you haven't tried macrame, the combination of the tying station, the amite thread, the amazing beads, this is a great way to get started. I really wasn't happy macrameing until I used the tying station. And when I started using the tying station, I was interested in different kinds of cord to help me, find different ways to add materials. And this cording is just so lovely and nice. And the colors. So this color is my favorite. But you get a color in every one of these bracelet kits that we have, except for that fruit kit. So you get that, but you can get them separately, and you can get a cajillion colors. I don't know how many there are, but there are a lot. Probably not a cajillion. I'm exaggerating, but, but that's, the cording, the beads, and you could get, your Bead Llama mystery bag and pull out some things to macrame with. You can get some of our Bead Llama bead blends, and you've got a lot of fun things to work with. So that's the rest of our design. That comes up so quickly. Now let's finish this up. We might go a little bit over our time here, but I would just want to quickly show you. You can take off your other piece, and I will sometimes just come and cut that off, my little excess piece, my little remnant. And then for this side, I don't even need to completely open that up because that cording was all just kind of sitting in there and tightened up. And then I'm going to take my tying station and put it away for my next project. I'm going to come up with something else because I love these bracelets. So look at this. So pretty. So this is what you're left with at the end. And what I do is I'm going to tie another knot. Actually, I should move these seed beads out of the way so these seed beads don't end up on the floor, much like seed beads often do. Let me move all of those guys, put them back in their package. Okay, so I like to start with cutting some of this excess cord off. So I'm going to get some of that out of there. And this now becomes my part of my scrap pile that I can pull out to use for other things. So I'm going to take and I'm going to do another overhand knot. And I'm going to make sure I get all 4 pieces of cord. And I'm just going to create a knot like we did when we started. So I've got a little knot at the end and I push that down with my fingernail. And then I like to use a closed jump ring. I could not find a closed jump ring for us to work with today, for me to work with today. I think I've got some in the show. So if you check out that shopping bag, there are some closed ones. So, but this will work just fine for what I'm doing. And I'm going to put this jump ring, I put my cording through my jump ring, making sure I get all 4 pieces. And I'm going to knot that on. So I'm going to come around, get all of my pieces of cord. And what I like to do when I'm kind of in this spot, I want to make sure I don't mess up my knot after I did all that work. So I will take my beading awl. This is also in the show today. It's one of the tulip beading awls. The gray one does not have a very sharp end. So I'm not going to jab myself as I do this, but I will come in and I will take my cord, I'll put it through my knot, and then I pull tight so that I can get that secured on and get my knot to the right spot. So I've got this on, but it's a little bit wonky. So what I'm going to do to satisfy that or straighten it out a little bit is I'm going to split my 4 cords because I still have 4 cords here. I'm going to pull those around. So they're kind of on the other side of this jump ring. I'm going to pull them around to the front of the jump ring and the front of the knot that's there. And I'm going to tie a knot. So I'm going to get that knot there. And then I'm going to come around the other side and try and get that knot below the knot that's already there. And that doesn't look perfect, but it's securing my ring onto my piece. Now, we don't have time to actually do the glue and let it dry, but here's what I like to use. This is in the show today. GS Hypo Cement. This is all very used, as you can see, well-loved GS Hypo Cement. This is my favorite for any kind of cording, fabric-y type things. And all you would do is dab a couple, a tiny, tiny bit on one side, let it dry, dab some on the other side, and let it dry. And then another thing you can do if you want to create some excess fun on your bracelet is you could add some beads to the cords. So you could take these and you can add some of the incredible beads onto them. And you can knot it. And you can use that beading awl, come in to that knot, press it right down against that bead, take your fingernail, push that knot down, and then you can cut this cord and use your beading awl. Get that right cord. You can cut it to whatever length you want, and you can use your beading awl to kind of fray this cord end. So you could give it a little fringy effect. And because this gray beading awl is not sharp at the end, you're not going to hurt yourself. But if you try and use the pink one, that one is going to cut you. So don't use the pink one. The gray one is in the show. This is an excellent tool for so many things. So you can get a little fringy effect here. And you can cut, once you've got your glue in place, you can cut your, the rest of your cords or cut off all the ends. And since I am not glued yet, I'm a little nervous about cutting too close, but that's your end. And that's how you can make your bracelet with a nice lobster and jump ring closure like this. Let me get all this nonsense out of the way. And this one is so fun. So there's so many different ways you can do this, but look at this bracelet. You can do any kind of word here. Love, hugs, friends, besties. This is a way to be besties with someone or many someones in your life. And I absolutely love this bracelet. This project is so much fun. And I hope that all of you are taking advantage of the bracelet madness that's going on. Let me flip the camera up. Hi, everybody. So this is our bracelet. We're blooming. We're besties today. Bracelet Madness, 25% off. Bracelet supplies only through the end of today. So you still have time to get some of these great bracelet goodies into your shopping cart and on their way to them. So you can check out now and make sure that those things get to you. If you leave things in your shopping cart, sometimes they go away. Someone else snatches them and gets them ahead of you. So don't miss out on doing that. Couple more things, you guys. Next week, I will be live, but I will be live later in the day. We've got another amazing sale coming up that I think all of you will love. And I've got a little something going on in the morning on Monday. So I'll be joining you at 1 p.m. Pacific time, which makes it 4 p.m. Eastern time next week. So set your reminders for a later time for me next week. Go make some bracelets for your besties, you guys. Go grab some amazing bracelet making kits. Get the free shipping with that mystery bag. And don't forget to share your wonderful designs on the Art Beads Facebook page. It's called Serious Art Beaters. You can pop over there and send in your request to join. We'll get you signed up and you can share what you've made. Share those friendship bracelets. Share those other bracelets that you're making. Be part of Bracelet Madness. It's still through the end of today. Laura Q, thank you so much. Thank you guys for being here. There are so many other fun things planned the rest of this week. We hope that you'll tune back in. And by the way, one thing, Art Beads is really watching all of that global uncertainty and the global changes. We are really trying to keep our prices down. We have not raised them. So we want you to just keep having the peace and joy of making jewelry. So go and do that this week. We hope that you will continue to shop with us and hang with us, and let's be besties. I'll see you next week, you guys. Love you lots. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. I'll see you next Monday. Bye.